Hey guys, Joey from Class A Video Productions here. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the Virginia Beach line because this year is the 20th anniversary. That's right, 20 years since the line was abandoned. The 20th anniversary of abandonment. So I'm going to be using the Google Maps Street View and Aerial View. I'm giving them full credit for this to show the locations. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with the very eastern end of the line here. Right over here is Bird Neck. If you look right here, you can see right here they put a little railroad tie. Well, you can't really see it now. I think they took it out. Right here is where they cut the line in 1995. I very vaguely remember there being a railroad crossing here. I was very young, never got to see a train here. The line actually used to go all the way down to the ocean front, but it was a very long time ago. I never recall actually seeing the yard down there, but there actually was a yard. And there was a crossing right up there where I'm pointing the mouse. There was a rock customer, I believe, right up there where the trains actually, until abandonment, used to go drop off the loads and then head the empties back west. And I don't believe there's a street view available here, but somewhere around here I think was the plant. But they decided to start shipping by truck instead of train. So that's the reason why NS decided to abandon the line. Also, it was going to start to be $7 million to refurbish the track. So they decided to not. They went ahead and just abandoned the line because they figured it was just easier said than done. Now, if you look over here, you can see the road actually used to cross here, but they actually rerouted the road to go over here. I'll go ahead and just follow the road. Right here, this is a major intersection, and a lot of it's all overgrown now. There were two cantilever crossings right here that they spent a whole bunch of money on, and to my knowledge, I don't think they ever operated because they actually put them in right before abandonment. I don't think they actually knew that the line was going to be abandoned by the time they put them in, but I don't know the full story on that. So, yeah, that was pretty weird. Now, right up here on First Colonial Road, you can see the tracks are pretty much completely overgrown here. You can't even tell that there were railroad tracks here anymore. I actually have a video of the crossing really, really beat up and torn all to hell on my channel. The visors are all torn off, and just the crossing was in terrible shape. But this location is actually very dear to me because this little, well, I don't know if it's an auto parts place anymore. Actually, yeah, it is. My family mechanic actually sold me a 96 Ford Thunderbird here, but before he sold it to me, he had me test drive it, and it was right in that parking lot there. And what I did was I left that parking lot, went out onto this road, and test drove it all the way out onto here. So I took the car and test drove it right by this crossing. So that was pretty cool. And I'll just show you right here. Yeah, you can see that this crossing was already really far gone before, by 2015, it was just really, really bad. Hold on, the mouse is sensitive. here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, this side doesn't look so bad. But the other side is just really, really bad. So, it's just not good. You can see there's a lot of wear and tear there. And then over here, you can just tell that there's no sign that there were ever railroad tracks there at all. They're just completely buried in all that vegetation and growth. You can see some of the tracks right there, but other than that, you just can't tell. So, there's that. So, continuing west, once you leave that crossing, First Colonial Road becomes Potter's Road, and you kind of just follow this back road, so to speak, here. That was always a crossbuck crossing right there at Air Station Drive. That never had signals, but anyway, the tracks are right here. This crossing was never accessible to the public. This is like a, I don't know, commercial dump or something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so, and there's a couple of crossings in here you can't get to either. But if you look right here and see this little Y that's now covered by vegetation as well, that used to be a spur to Oceana. But as you can see, it's been a very long time since it was ever used. And I'll show you. Yeah. See, there's a tree actually covering the tracks. There's not even a road bed anymore. It's just the gravel. There's some sign of tracks there, and you still hear a bump when you go over it because there are some tracks in the road there. But save for that, that's it. I mean, it's completely overgrown by trees. And finally we come, this is the main spot that Mom and I used to come to. We used to sit right here at this London Bridge greenhouse and nursery parking lot around 6 p.m. on Friday afternoons to wait for the westbound. It would always come between 6:15 and 6:30. It was almost like clockwork, and since it ran at 10 miles an hour, we would catch it about 3 or 4 more times. And even with all the traffic lights, it was still very easy to catch. But again, as you can see, the tracks are buried over. They don't even cross this road anymore, in fact. And yeah, you can see right there, they just disappear into vegetation and trees. But I mean, this place, if you've lived here for a long time, it's changed so much. I can remember, and I'm showing my age here, but I can remember when this was a 2-lane road and there were really old houses right here. This is now a 6-lane road, and there's an on and off ramp right here. This looks completely different than when I was watching trains here 20 years ago. In fact, I mean, looking back, this only goes to 2007. You can't even get a Google Street View that shows what it looked like back before the line was abandoned. So, yeah. And they even put a fence, a chain link fence, right over where they cut the line. So, if that tells you anything right there, there you go.